So today we are going to be working on creating a collage using selfie photos and then making that one large photo constructed of tiny other selfies or pictures of yourself. So for this demo I am going to use a celebrity so you can see the process of making that selfie collage in PhotoPea. So first thing you want to do is hopefully you've downloaded your photos into your folder. The next thing you want to do is go to File at the very top here. You want to go to File, Open, because you want to open up the first picture you have. So for us it's under Celebrity, or for me it's under Celebrity, Collage, Graphic Design. Here's our main photo. Again, if you click on the spacebar, it will give you a sample of the main photo, or whatever photo you are clicking on. But choose. Here's our first photo. First thing in Photoshop is always the same. You always want to copy the background. So we're going to drag the word background, that layer, to the bent piece of paper. Now we have background and background copy. We can turn this off. The next step here is we want to change this main photo into having like made it look like cutouts or of a stencil. And so the filter cutout option is not available in PhotoPea, but there's a different option that we are going to be using for this. We're going to go to Image, Vectorize Bitmap. So Vectorize meaning it looks like it's made in Illustrator, another program, so it'll simplify our design. So we're going to click on that. It'll give you this pop-up window. And so there you go, so you can see both. Our left option here is the original, and our right option here is the revised one, what it would look like. So the colors here are similar to that of how many levels you would have in if you were using the cutout option in the filter option under Photoshop. So we're going to turn this down. We'll turn it down to, so you can see it gets a little bit more general tones. So we'll keep going here, lower. So 8 looks pretty good. You can see 8 and 7. We'll go with 8. That's fine. You get to reduce noise. That's like some of this extra like detail lines. If you turn that off, it'll probably have more. Yeah. So you want to keep the reduce noise on, and segmentize. You can turn that off if you like. It makes more general areas instead of like having more cut out specific areas. So we'll turn that off for this demo. Hit OK. Here's our cutout option version of our celebrity, which would be your selfie. So a little bit different than in Photoshop. Each part that that the Vectorize image creates all these individual sections, looking like you made it its own layer. So it's a little bit different than in Photoshop where it's all be the same layer still. No worries. We can minimize that. We know all the colors are in there. So the next thing we want to do is we're going to save this, what we have. So File, Save as PSD. So you can open it anywhere you need to. So if you're opening it on Photoshop, if you're opening it in PhotoPea again, this is the option you want to keep. So I have it already saved, so I don't need to save it right now. But this is what your option should be choosing. The next thing we want to do is that now we have this is our main photo where all of our actions will be taking place. The next thing we do is open our second photo. So we're going to File, Open, and of the other like 9 or 10 that you have downloaded into your folder, you want to select one of those. So we'll select this one. Again, you hit spacebar, you can see a sample of that photo. We'll hit choose. So here's our next photo. It is a landscape right now. Could be a landscape or a portrait. Does not matter. We are going to crop it to make it a perfect square. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to the crop tool right here. It's the two like upside down L's. So we're going to crop. The next thing I'm going to do, give it an option. So we don't want it to be free. This drop down menu here where it says the word free and has a little drop down arrow, you want to click on that. You want it to be a fixed ratio, and we want it to be 1 by 1. So that's a perfect square. So we got to make this a little bit smaller so we can capture our photo. And we're trying to capture the main part of our picture. So make sure it's like covering, if it's you, make sure it's part of you, not like just the background. So you want to make sure it's the main part of the photo. So it lines up perfectly. That's good. And then all you want to do is hit enter on the keyboard or return if you're on a Mac. So now we have our perfect square. And the next step we want to do is go to edit. Go to image first. We're going to go to image size. Now we're going to make it really small. And so this picture is still its original size, so we got to make it really small. Right now it's 2000 by 2000 pixels. So we're going to change it to 50 by 50 pixels. So let's make it really, really tiny. Hit OK. So there it is. We'll zoom in. So again, now you can see it's starting to become pixelated. So it's more of a color rather than a picture. We'll go to Edit now from the top drop down. Go to Define New. And then this one is going to be called a pattern because we want it to be repeating over and over again. So we're going to hit Define New Pattern. It says Pattern Added. So now it's in our library of patterns. We can just close this window with the little X here. Again, make sure you're deleting the one that you just made the pattern for, not your original. So we'll delete this, hit OK. Next thing I'm going to do is go to Image. Not Image, sorry. Go to Select from our main photo, Color Range. So we're trying to select all the things that are the same color. And now we can use the eyedropper tool here, or it looks like a plus sign. And you just click and it will highlight the area. So in this little sample window, it'll show you black and white and other grays. So the white area is the area that you are selecting that will get the pattern or color that you're trying to fill it in with. So what I would suggest is making sure it's just black and white, not having any gray tones. So you could turn the fuzziness down of your picture. So now it's pure white and black, just so your pictures aren't overlapping each other. So we'll hit OK. So we have our ants marching around the outside here, right? We could see that area, as well as a couple of smaller areas in here. Now that we have it selected, we're going to go to Layer, the top, New Fill Layer, and we're going to Pattern Fill. Since we just defined what the pattern is, we're going to fill this marching ants area in with that pattern. So there are some patterns that already come with the computer or the application of PhotoPea. So we want to use the drop down menu here and choose the one we just created, which is right here, right? We see this picture. And then we turn this scale down so we could see more of it as a color. So like anything below 20 would be good, or below 50, depends. So we'll go with like a 20. So it's more of a tone rather than an actual picture. That is our design right now. We can turn that off. That is under Pro. And we're turning this layer off. So now that we have our first picture laid in as a pattern, it's the same repeating pattern or steps over and over again. So that's what we're going to do. We'll do a couple of these steps, and then you guys will continue this until your whole picture is filled in. So again, we're going to go to File, Open. This is going to be our next photo. Just choose a different photo. Hit Choose. Here's our next one. Same steps. So we're going to go to Crop Tool over here on the left. fixed ratio 1:1. So we can move this down. It's a little large. Like that. Hit enter on the keyboard. Now we have a perfect square. So we're going to go to image, image size. And now we want to make this smaller, so we're going to go with 50 by 50 pixels. Okay, now we made our tiny picture. Again, if you want to zoom in, it's Command plus or Command minus on a Mac. I believe it's Control plus, Control minus on a Windows computer. Next thing we want to do is go to Edit, Define New, and we're going to make this a new pattern. Now it says Pattern Added. We're all good. I can close this. Now we go back to our original photo. I'm going to turn this layer off just because I don't want to select another area and then accidentally be picking up in the same color tone in this picture as well. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to go to Select, Color Range, choose a different color now. So go with this next brown part of her hair. Again, it's like pretty good black and white comparison. Hit OK. Now we're going to go to Image, Layer, New Fill Layer, Pattern Fill. So that's not the right pattern. Here's our one we just made. As you keep making them, they'll keep showing up at the bottom here. So there we go. We'll make this smaller. So we're building up our design here. And so I'll just keep going through these faster and faster and filling in the rest of this picture. So again, File, Open. We're going to choose a different photo. Crop 1:1 ratio. Make sure it's fixed ratio 1:1. Hit enter. Now we're going to make this picture smaller. Go image, image size 50 by 50. And again, that's doing that because these are locked together. Now we can zoom in. We're going to go to Edit, Define New, Pattern. Pattern is added. We can close this tab. Go back to our original. Turn these two layers off. So from our background copy, we're going to go to Select, Color Range, select background. Okay. So we can see this background and part of our face are selected. We'll go to Layer, New Fill Layer, Pattern, drop down. This, making it again smaller so we can start to see our picture being filled in. Again, File, Open, another photo. We haven't used this one yet. Choose, again, Crop Tool, Square 1:1 fixed ratio, enter. So we have our cropped picture, image, image size 50 by 50, hit OK. Zoom in, edit, define new, pattern. Pattern is added. We can close our extra tab. Back to our original. Go to our background copy layer. Make sure we're on the right one. Select color range. We'll choose this light brown. Hit OK. So our marching ants have selected the area. We're going to layer, new fill layer, pattern fill. choose from our pattern dropdown our next picture, making it small enough so we can see it, or we can't see it. So we can turn these on, give you an idea of how our progress is going. So File, Open, choose. We're going to go to Crop Tool. So 1x1 square, image size, 50 by 50. Go to Edit, define new, pattern is added. We can close our tab. Go back to our original. Go to, make sure we're on the background copy. Select color range. We're going to choose brown tone. Hit OK. Again, make sure you're selecting different layers each time. Here's a little sample of the ones that you already have picked. So we're going to go to Layer, New Fill Layer, Pattern Fill. Choose from the drop down. New picture. Turn the picture down so we can see what we have so far. So this is a pretty good start for what we are going for. The rest of this project you want to continue to fill in. Again, make sure all of your areas are filled in with smaller and smaller photos so that overall your picture will be covered up entirely. So just continue working and making sure you save your file at the end as save as PSD. Even if you are done working with it, save it for the day as file PSD so you can open it again. Just don't close it out because it will not save your progress that you have made in the website of PhotoPea. So please make sure you use save as PSD under file.